Hey guys, this is just a theory, but I want to talk about or run this theory by you guys just because I think it's a fun little thought experiment to do is if life was a lucid dream, what would that look like? And so like some of the things I was thinking about was the first thing is that if life was a lucid dream, that would mean that reality is subjective in a sense where your beliefs shape exactly what you see, which is kind of, to be honest, that's how it is for a lot of people, and that your mind would filter out things that don't align with your worldview. So some examples of that would be God. Some person or somebody who believes heavily in God, all of anything that contradicts their worldview, they would filter automatically and they would not listen to, which is the majority of the world. I think everyone does this anyway. So whereas maybe one person would give credit to God for an outcome that they wanted, the other person might give credit to their manifestation because they believe in the power of manifesting, and they may give that the credit. Another thing would be, for example, ghosts. Whereas one person might say, oh, I'm having these experiences in my house because of some crazy negative demonic entity or ghost or spirit. Whereas another person with their worldview, they might say, hey, this is just my carbon monoxide detector not working and this is why I'm having these experiences. So like, if you ask yourself, why did this happen? That'll kind of help you see, like if you ask yourself why did this happen? And then you look at your answer, that'll kind of help you see the things that you're filtering out, which are the things you do not accept or do not believe in as being the reason for something happening. And if life was a lucid dream, the other thing we would have is this wake up paradox, where we would ask ourselves, who is dreaming? Like, am I dreaming? Am I like the character, or am I the consciousness behind the dream? And this would kind of lead to, like, an example of this would be the Matrix, which is a movie that I think everyone loves, but the older I get, the more this movie, it hits differently the older you get. I don't know why, because I watched it a lot as a kid. Life would be just like the Matrix, or just like a simulation theory where you have the ability to wake up inside of life. And I would say the same thing, just like the Matrix or simulation theory or in a lucid dream, I think they're called NPCs. Yeah, the NPCs would seem very autonomous. They would seem like they have their own personality, their own memories that are very separate from yours. And in a lucid dream, it's almost exactly like that. When you're talking to somebody, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're talking to yourself, even though you know you're talking to yourself a lot of the times. That sensation is not there. Everyone feels very, very separate, or this the illusion of separation is there even in a lucid dream. But if life was a lucid dream right now, you would also have the same illusion of separation, which is interesting to think about when you compare it to like Buddhist teachings. The other thing, if life was a lucid dream, that would mean that you are not in the world, but the world is you, and that everything is a projection of what's inside of your mind. And you experience this a lot in a lucid dream when you're looking around at everything and you're like, oh, I created this with my mind. Like, none of this is real, even though it feels very real, looks very real, has a lot of realistic elements, maybe even some continuity. You still know that, how can I say that? Basically, you're not in the world and the world is you. That's essentially it. The other thing, if life was a lucid dream, a lot of things would go unquestioned and you just consider as normal without giving it second thought. And this happens in actual lucid dreams a lot. We don't question every single thing in a lucid dream that doesn't make sense. We kind of just go with the flow. Even when we are conscious, there are some elements that we're like, oh, this is a bit strange, but there are a lot more elements that we do not pay attention to at all. We kind of just filter out weird random shit that happens in a lucid dream. Like, I'm trying to think of examples in real life. There's this video, I don't know if you guys saw this, where a bunch of people are playing basketball and you're supposed to follow the ball with your eyes. And in the middle of the video, there's a man in a gorilla suit walking through the court, very obvious. But when you're focusing on the ball, I think it was, I don't remember what percentage of people, but a lot of the people who watched this video did not notice the man in the gorilla suit. something completely out of place that should not have been there. No one questioned, went unnoticed, didn't seem strange at all. And that happens a lot in lucid dreams, but also honestly sometimes in life it happens as well. There's some weird things that just we go along with and we do not question it. The other thing is that if our life was like a lucid dream, there would be, I would say this is kind of similar to the last one I just made, like these things that we don't question, maybe glitches, synchronicities, or coincidences, like the WTF moments that we have in our dreams, that kind of, they trigger lucidity, I would say, but also these moments that let us know, hey, you're dreaming, like this is not normal, in air quotes, because really what is normal? Let me rephrase that. The glitches in our real lucid dreams let us know that, oh, this is a dream, this is not real. But also sometimes in life there seems to be glitches as well, which could potentially let us know, hey, it's not what it is, if that makes sense. And the next thing is that if life was like a lucid dream, then your inner state would be reflected in your outer state, which I think is very normal. Like a chaotic mind sometimes produces chaotic dreams, or a harmed, injured mind produces a lot of dreams where you're reliving those moments or experiencing that again and again and again. And if this was the case, then that would mean that once we stop reacting, we'll be able to start creating, because seldom are we ever just stationary in our dreams. We're typically always in a reactive state, doing one thing after the next. But just like in a lucid dream, when you become lucid, you kind of switch from being a passenger to a pilot. In real life, if life was like a lucid dream, then technically you would be able to do that as well. You'd be able to stop reacting to everything and then just start taking control. And I think once you start to lucid dream, these things cross your mind a lot, because you start to see so many similarities between lucid dreaming and being awake that it really makes you question, even though you know being awake is not a lucid dream, these thoughts cross your mind a lot more. And the one thing I notice is that in dreams, when we know we're dreaming, we know that this is not the end. In a sense that we will wake up, there will be something that continues after this dream, like this is not the final phase. We behave differently. So I think if I believed that life was like a lucid dream, I probably would behave differently as well. I would behave as if I had more control. I would behave as if, this wasn't the end, so maybe I would do more things and not so much focus on the consequences, but more so on what do I want to do, which really emphasizes, this whole theory is that your beliefs create your experience, and that's essentially it. So if you've ever thought about this, leave a comment. If you have seen any similarities between lucid dreaming and real life, let me know what they are. If you found this insightful, helpful, or entertaining, leave a like, share, helps the channel out. And yeah, that's all, guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and see you in the next video.